Yeah.
So I'm going to open the meeting with a statement pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20F. After notifying the chair of the public body, any person may record or transmit this open meeting. This hybrid meeting is being recorded by the town of Stockbridge. The names of members participating remotely will be announced. Any member of the public wishing to speak must first receive permission from the chair. The agenda items listed are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, but not all may be discussed, and other topics not listed may be brought up for discussion by the public body as permitted by law. Let's just start with the meeting minutes of December 10th that Nancy had passed along, and then there were a couple of things that just to be adjusted. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I have one correction that I just noticed, and I'm so sorry for the late notice. It says 7,500 to pay the actors.
Yeah.
That is 7,000.
Oh, 7,000.
Yeah, and then that 3,500 is correct.
Okay.
So sorry, I should have caught that when I looked at it the first time.
So do I have a motion with a correction to be,
I make a motion to approve the minutes pending that $7,500 goes down to $7,000. Second.
all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Miguel, you have a question?
No, I am just voting.
Oh, okay, thank you. So we have today also joining us is Cheryl Reciteris from Laurel Hill.
Yeah.
So we're going to hear some things about that too also. So let's just start with some updates. I know, Susan, you have some updates for us. Do you want to talk about that?
Absolutely. And anybody can chime in when they're ready. We have about 4 different items, I think, to cover. One is a question about the final list of events. The question is, when will we have this, including a contact for each institution? What we have is a design of the passport now. We've been working with Kim Bradway, and we've developed a list of information that we need from each institution, because the passport will have 2 pages. The left side of the page will have information about the institution, you know, the address, the URL address, the contacts, and then the right is going to be all about their event. So that's the basic design of it. So we've developed a letter requesting this information, but we need to know, you know, exactly what the list of events is and a sense of when we want to get this sent out, because Kim will take updates as they come in. So she's not going to wait for the entire list to be done, which is good. So that's the question for the committee, I think. If anybody wants to tell me the answer.
Of when each event will happen?
No, just the final list of what the events are. We've gone over this, I think, before, and I can go through what we think we have, but, you know, we said there would be 10 events that will be included in the passport.
Oh, okay.
So what we need to know.
We have 10 events.
I was going to say, I don't think we have 10 events.
No,
I'm sorry.
we definitely don't have 10
We don't have
events.
10 events.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you can have one.
Yeah, I don't know if we have 10 events.
Would it make sense for Susan do you want to walk through what we thought
Sure.
were the events?
Yeah, this is what I think George and I had talked about this a while ago. One is the Rebel Town play.
Okay.
Chesterwood. The library.
The what? I'm sorry.
Library.
Norman Rockwell. The Revolutionary War Monument.
The
The memorial?
Oh, okay. War Memorial.
The memorial. So it's one. Chesterwood, the library. No, Rockwell. The Laurel Hill Association was going to get back to us by the third week in January because they have their
She's here. She's here.
And Cheryl's here.
Oh, okay. So maybe you could speak to that, but that was one of them including. The triplex was under consideration. We had Namkeek as a question, but I don't know if we ever came up with anything for them.
I'm sorry, Susan, what was that last one?
No, Namkeek.
Namkeek, okay.
Namkeek. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 so far. The regiment.
We
That
won't
would-
know for a while about that though.
No,
so
I do have an update on that
Oh,
one.
nice.
Okay, that would be number 9. And I don't know if we have number 10. We talked about the Chime Tower, but that's not really an event.
Hi, it's Andrea.
And Andrea Goodman's online. And Andrea, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, sure. I anticipate having 3 separate events. One of them is with Memorial Day, so that wouldn't happen. And then last time we did 2 separate events. One of which was a Name That Tune Day, where everybody comes to the tower and there's a contest with where they get a checklist and they have to sort of name the tunes they're hearing, and the winner gets a prize. There are gift certificates from the merchants in town. So that's one, and then we can do one I left open because it can be connected to anything that happens that anyone else is doing at the monument or anything like that, like Revolutionary War tunes. Anything anyone wants to suggest, I can certainly make a suggestion, but we anticipate at least 2 to 3 events for this. I just didn't know when your time deadline was for it to submit it. So just let me know and you'll have it.
Okay.
I think any time now, Andrea, would be
Okay.
great. And I think having like one day specific for revolutionary music might be kind of a neat thing, a neat day.
Sure. Okay, yeah, I should be able to have it within a week or 2.
And then the other thought we were having, just as events, but this would be ongoing, is quotes from famous people of that time. And I've been trying to work on that. Haven't gotten very far, to be honest with you, but I have been working on it.
Brainstorming things that we can talk about when we get to it.
Okay,
See if there's something develops.
all right,
Okay.
sounds good.
Okay, so that is the 10 or 11 that we're talking about then.
Okay,
So we do actually have events. And so we need to, we can start sending out this letter to people. I'll need to get the contact for each one. I know some of them. And we have to give a return date for when we want it. So I guess we'll have to figure that out. Maybe a month is reasonable, or does that sound reasonable to everybody?
I think that we're doing a very slow start here, I'll say, and
Yeah.
Talia's been working on this for well over a year, so I feel like we're a very slow start, so I think maybe a month would be fine,
Okay.
except for if we do the regiment, just an update on that. They're looking at a possible date of March or April. So I'm just throwing that out to our committee to see when we might think we would like it, March or April.
Can I just
Yes,
we were thinking of around Arbor Day because Johnny Appleseed and it started in Massachusetts and for Laurel Hill and giving out seedlings, kind of a thing. And with some educational material for kids about who is Johnny Appleseed and, where's he from and that kind of thing. So that we were thinking about, and that Arbor Day is the 24th of April.
okay,
And then we also have an event on Earth Day. That's 2 days before. I mean, that week is Earth Week, and we usually have people clean up their streets. And we were going to have, there's this continental coin it wasn't used very much, but it was used around that time. And we were just going to send people an image of it that cleaned up their streets, and then they could take it and redeem it at the Stockbridge coffee and get a free coffee. So we're just going to tie that in just a little bit with, so the Earth Day thing is, I don't think something that would work for the pass, but the Arbor Day thing might. So
Okay.
does that sound all right with, is that, I'm just looking if that okay with you guys? Does that sound like it would work?
That sounds good. Where would that happen?
We were kind of thinking maybe in front of the Waldorf School.
Oh, yeah.
Could pitch a tent, and I'd like to use them. If we could maybe incorporate some of the high schoolers to
Okay.
work with the thing. So we'll see what we can get done.
Cheryl, would you mind spelling your last name for me?
RESETARITS.
ITS.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
So
Anything?
that sounds like something we would add to the passport.
Yes, I think that's a great idea, Susan, to
I think
add
so.
that one to the passport, the Johnny Appleseed with Laurel Hill.
Yeah, let them come by, get some information, or they can get a seedling or whatever. I don't know how many, maybe you guys could tell us how many we would need to order. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
And was the parade included in the passport, the Memorial Day parade?
That was one of the events that she
I
listed.
think that Kirk has an update on that. Oh,
Yeah. Hi, Kirk Nichols here, everybody. I've talked with some people in town, and after a lot of consideration, I don't think it's necessarily appropriate to include the Memorial Day parade in like our 250th celebration. Just kind of catching the pulse of a few people in town. I don't know if it's proper. But I did have a thought, and I know that Katie had talked about some sort of a block party, when we first started meeting. And I thought in our last meeting, and it's been a crazy month for me, so forgive me if I'm incorrect here. I thought we kind of talked about something like at Bidwell Park, or maybe I'm just making this up in my mind, which is also possible. But I thought we talked about having like a community event, like, prior to Memorial Day, when the weather's nice, over at Bidwell Park, really have a lot of local participation. Like an event for the people in our town, our community. And I know that we need to have a historical aspect to it. So tie in, maybe some speeches or some readings that are contextually appropriate. I thought that we talked about something like that. Again, I could be wrong.
No, we totally did. And because we thought that would be easier to do than closing off Elm Street, just for logistical reasons, and it's spacious. And if it's later in the spring or summer, the pavilion should be up, hopefully. So I would love to get local businesses involved and set up cute tables, face painting, things like that. Because Lee just did their founders, not just did, but in the summer, they had their Founders Day weekend, and they had the Berkshire Museum come down, and they were dressed all in their revolutionary things. And then they had like activities for the kids to do. So that could be something we could bring in as well. And maybe we tie it in with the regiment. If we want to do it the same day, they could make an appearance at the family day or.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They were throwing out either March or April for the regiment. If, and we won't know that until their next meeting, which isn't until March. But I told him that I would get back to him after today's meeting.
Katie, if it doesn't work with the regiment, I can probably get you some people
Okay, yeah.
in funny clothes with
Yeah.
with things.
Yeah, and then that would just tie it in, but it would be a day of just celebrating community and just having people come together. And I can figure out maybe if Waldorf, their high school band did a really cute performance for one of my events before, so maybe we can get them again to do some music. And so honestly, if we can just pick a date, I can start getting some volunteers and things like that together and see what we could do.
Do you want to do it later or do you want to do it like Memorial Day weekend, just not on the Monday of the parade?
Kirk, what do you think?
So and again, this is talking with people in town. There's kind of like we all know that when Memorial Day hits, our town changes, right? Like parking is almost impossible downtown. It's busier, right? And I think the thought was like having an event that was really kind of centered towards like the people that are in our community year round, right? And not just like, hey, there's an event, let's just go, in a random community that we're visiting. Not to say that people aren't welcome, right? But like a town-centered event. So I think what Talia mentioned, like the weekend of Memorial Day, that seems kind of appropriate, but not. I think if we get after Memorial Day, it starts. People avoid town. It just is what it is. Our people, our townspeople, avoid the center of town, because of how busy it can be. So I think that if we're looking at holding an event, for our community, and we want our community to show up, I think we got to think about the date, and I would suggest that it should be before Memorial Day.
Oh, I was going to suggest after school got out.
I was going to suggest June.
Yeah, I was going to say June.
In town, it is true that it changes at Memorial Day, but the tourists really don't come until Tanglewood opens. That's
Right.
my experience. And so June, usually the weather's cooperating. And even if local kids are still in school, everybody's head is turning toward summer and the end of school. So I think you can get some participation there. Summer excitement is coming. But the tourists really haven't gotten here yet. That's bears out in the numbers.
What day is Memorial Day? I don't have my phone on.
The 25th
Yeah.
Of May, right?
of May.
Yeah. And that's the Monday. Right.
Oh, Miguel has his hand up too.
I think you just avoid like high school graduation,
Right.
whenever that is, just try to,
Is that usually towards the end of June? I can't
No, it's
remember.
usually like the beginning.
yeah, early June.
So if like we said June 13th or June.
So could I just, Kirk, could I just ask you to clarify, does this mean there will be no mention of Stockbridge 250 at the Memorial Day Parade? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I have a meeting, or the parade committee has a meeting on Saturday, and so I haven't brought this issue to the parade committee yet. This is just like the opinion that I'm getting after talking with a lot of people in town. I will bring this issue up at our meeting for the parade committee on Saturday and see what they have to say. But my gut is telling me that, like, I know we talked about potentially having like participation in the parade. I think it might step on some toes, and I think it might. I just don't. I don't know. So
I've
yeah,
gotten that same sense from some of my seniors.
Yeah. And again, like I will bring this up to the committee on Saturday, and but my gut is telling me that it's probably not proper.
Can I throw one thing out? It's just that by that time, if we're talking about mid-June, the passports will be out, so people will be aware of it. If that doesn't matter, then that's okay. But they will. Some people will know about it. By then.
Know about what?
They'll know about the
The fact that
250.
there's passport and Stockbridge 250. It's not going to be a secret by that time.
Well,
No, but what I'm asking for is because we had talked about a Chesterwood float and we had talked about Revolutionary War hats for kids to wear in the parade. So that's all out. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, so maybe all of that can move
definitely
to this event that we're talking about. And June 14th is Flag Day. And it's a Sunday.
So can I continue on the clarification from Kirk? Because that was exactly my question. We had talked about representing the Minuteman, which was a Daniel Chester French iconic revolutionary, first veteran representation in the parade. And I was going to reach out to Harold French to include a representative of each of the veteran of the armed services, one representative veteran on the float with the Minutemen, so it would have 4 veterans on it. But if this is not going to be, then this totally changes the plans that we had originally proposed, and I need to have clarification. And is this something that, do we need to put a proposal in writing for this so that they have it officially, or is it something, Kirk, that you're just going to voice to them and get their feel? I just need to have some clarification so that we can plan accordingly.
Yeah, so I think the challenge that we have, and I is that we barely have enough veterans as it is to walk in the parade, to staff the honor guard where we struggle, and that's just the nature of the beast for veterans in the community, just with declining numbers. I will bring this up to the committee. I don't think there needs to be any type of a formal presentation. I will just note that in past years, it has been a battle to get any outside participation at the with the committee about the parade. And I think that we're lucky that we have the little that we do have. I just don't. I like the idea of the Minuteman and having like that representation. I just don't know if it's going to be received well. And so I will bring this to the committee. I will have this discussion, and then I will follow through with an email to this committee after I have that discussion with what the temperature looks like.
Right, correct. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Miguel, is that something that we could move to the block party idea? Not idea, the date? Could you do something with your idea with the veterans to do something and do a presentation down at the park?
I would have to rethink it. The think about a parade is that is something in motion. So having a float with a representation would make sense. But on a stationary party, then what is the activity? So it would have to be more interactive with the public and children, and it has to be rethought. It's just a totally different idea.
Mm-hmm.
But it is possible. The other piece of this is that as we get into June, July, August, those are peak season month for Chesterwood visitation. So
a lot of weddings.
and visitorship. It then moving something outside of the site that late in the summer for us is more difficult. But, maybe it is a totally different activity that we have to rethink if we want to participate.
Yeah.
So just thinking about timing, and this isn't a proposal, it's just an idea. The Minutemen really were represented or representing Lexington and Concord, and that's in April. That's like mid-April. April 19th is Battle Road. So and that's before it becomes a really, before everybody is crowding Chesterwood and you can't get out. I don't know what I'm proposing in terms of an activity, but it would be before the summer and it wouldn't impact Memorial Day, and it might be pouring rain, so this might be a terrible idea. But I mean, the Minutemen would align really well with something in that time.
Yeah. Well,
So now we're thinking April for our date.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm just thinking,
Arbor Day's taken.
um,
we could coordinate something with the Arbor Day with Johnny Appleseed and the Minuteman and,
That would work.
something like that. I'm just thinking out loud. How do we get this in motion? How do we go from one place to another if you want to do a float, Miguel? And,
Well, should we do another parade? I mean, if they don't.
Say,
Yeah, I don't necessarily have to have a float. I just thought
Yeah.
that was a very easy sort of participation from Chesterwood, which is located in Stockbridge on the Stockbridge Parade. And it just made very organic sense. But if it
Yeah.
is not, then I think I need to go back to the thinking box and figure out what would make sense that we can produce on a timely manner and that is impactful for the community and for us, in a way that it's valuable. So I just have to rethink it, but it doesn't have to be a float. It doesn't have to be the Minuteman. I just wanted to capitalize on the concentration of children in that particular activity with the tri-corner hats and the representation of the Minuteman, which is going to be the centerpiece of our exhibition for this summer. But if it's not, I think that the thing to do is to wait and get the temperature from Kirk next week after his meetings, and then we'll come up with some other idea for us to participate.
okay. Sounds good.
Would Laurel Hill be okay if we do the, what day is April 24th on? What day of the week?
That's a Friday.
A Friday.
We're open to just about anything, actually.
Do you think if we move it to Saturday, we can do everything in the park and you can have a table and tent with all the
Absolutely.
things? And
Absolutely.
we can
Yeah.
get, maybe some of the restaurants can do like picnic baskets or something.
Yeah, so we could just,
Fun.
we'll just move the Arbor Day thing till Saturday. And that works in some ways because our Earth Day thing, we were going to try to send people to Stockbridge coffee and tea on Saturday too. So it could just be more of a,
And they can even set up a table there.
yeah, you never, yeah. And just having a little more energy. This is going to be one of the first events too.
It sounds like it, yeah.
So that would be nice, bunch of energy to have a few people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Okay,
You mean the day without, put the day.
celebrate Arbor Day on the next day. Doesn't have to be.
And move it to Bidwell Park.
Yeah, and then that would be the Black Party Day.
That would be the Black
Yeah, I like that.
Party Day. Gotcha.
Combining all of that with combining the Family Day with Arbor Day and maybe something with Minutemen, moving that to the 25th. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Andrea, you have a question?
Yeah, it's just, pardon my ignorance, where is Bidwell Park?
It's next to the town offices here.
Oh, okay. All right. So things gather there and that's the beginning of parades and things from that point.
Right. Or just to have the event right there. And that's the end of school vacation week, right? In
Maybe.
April.
Maybe.
Probably.
I don't have my phone on me.
I'll just check right now.
While you're checking, when is Laurel Hill Day particularly? Is that a certain day?
That's August. That's the end of August.
You know when?
It's always the last Saturday
Okay.
or something like that.
All right, great. Thanks for the info. Thanks.
So can I just ask a question after this? What are we combining here then? We're combining the block party with the regiment?
And Laurel Hill's Arbor Day celebration. We're just going to give out seedlings.
Okay.
Because we don't know when and if we can have we might have the regiment another day, but that Talia said she could probably get other people to dress up for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're possibly combining those. Then when Laurel Hill comes back to me with, if they want to do something else, I'll bring that to the committee. because they'll be notifying me in a couple weeks.
Oh, I'm Laurel Hill, and I'm telling you that
Oh.
we're gonna do this Arbor Day thing.
Okay,
And we're up to doing it at that, on the Saturday. That sounds great. More energy, more people.
Perfect. Yeah, I
Much more
love
fun
that.
for everybody.
all right, so that's,
Okay, I'll reach out to Ed at Waldorf, and see if the band can play. They play some really
Oh,
fun
that'd be fun.
poppy music, the last event that they did with me. And they loved it. It gave them a really good boost of confidence.
I lost my calendar.
Would I be able to get some seed money, or do you want me to run ideas by the board? How do you want to do this?
Well, that's the other part of our discussion today, is to get an estimate of prices of what we need. And I know that the passports are going to be costing something, and we have the Rebel Town. And if we do quotes and for signage and stuff, that's going to cost money. And so we have to kind of get a handle on our pricing.
So Georgia, we should go on the record probably just to tell everybody that we didn't get any more money, right, from CPC?
So
No, I was
CPC,
wrong with this.
yeah, CPC, we could not apply, even though we applied. We couldn't get money from there. However, I have spoken to the town administrator, and we might be able to get a reserve fund transfer if we need be. We could also ask for donations from the different organizations that we could consider as a gift towards the expense of these events throughout the year. So yeah, and then how much is it going to cost for the family fun day, or whatever you want to call it, at Bidwell Park? What is, we have to kind of get our monies in our head sooner than later here.
I can do before the next meeting is figure out different vendors and things like face paint. Like I can figure out what the day could look like and get quotes and prices, and then just see what would work that way. Get prices and quotes first.
Okay,
I'm more than happy to do that.
that would be,
yeah, we actually have the numbers, for very preliminary numbers for the passport, if you want to go through them now.
sure, Susan.
What we're including here is the development of the passport, which is the graphic designer, the passport printing itself, and she's getting some competitive bids. The stamp pads, which are not terribly expensive, because we said every event would get a stamp, and then after the people got a certain number of events or stamps, they'd get a small souvenir. So it also includes a souvenir. So the range is like 3,400 to 7,400, and we're probably on the 7,400 side, is my guess. But again, that's very preliminary estimates. But I guess as a number, if you wanted to use 7,400, would probably work. For now,
That 7,400. What's the quantity for that?
Yeah,
That's
sure.
this is what I'm showing her what you did here. We have no idea how many passports to print, right? So 1,000 to 2,000. And these were some quotes that Bradway gave us as far as what she thought. So if we went ahead and printed all 2,000, it would be the higher number here. And then the stamp pads are not too much, but we don't know how many we really need. Where do we want to, the questions remain. Where exactly are they? And they're going to be at each event, but we haven't completely nailed down all the events yet. So we're not sure how many we'll need of those. And souvenirs, kind of the same thing. It's got the souvenirs might cost an average of around $2 each, because we have a few ideas on what they could be. They're mostly small things, obviously. Do we need 1,000? We need, now, how many people are actually going to do the passports, and then what will the parameters be? If do you get a prize if you go to 3 events, for example? We were discussing that amongst ourselves, me and the 2 Susans, but we kind of wanted everybody's opinion about those things, what everybody would think about that, how many we would need. And that's where the numbers come in, 3,400 on the low side, 7,400, pretty much as high as we would think to go.
Well, the Memorial Day parades I've been to, if that's any model, it gets a couple hundred people, right? 200 or 300. It's not thousands.
I wouldn't think you.
And I don't know, one gauge may be what happens on January 24th for the library's event. But without, going to a play is completely different than, it's really hard to know.
It's hard to know. So these passports, if you think about it, they're going to be given out for free, right? They're going to be at a venue, and somebody could just pick it up like a brochure and use it once. They could keep it as a souvenir. They could actually use it as a guide to go to other events.
Yeah, to remind them of what's coming up. It's a marketing tool, really.
Right, yeah. Exactly. So that's where we were trying to, there's some guesswork involved here. And all the places that we're going to put the passports, which we haven't really figured that out. We were thinking, when we thought that the Memorial Day parade was going to be included, we thought maybe they'd be passed out there. But now on this Arbor Day event, maybe there'd be a table, and a couple of us might be there talking about all the events, Stockbridge 250 events, and take a passport. Here it is. And some of those people that take them, they may not follow up, but they might take it anyway.
What about at the library or at the Chamber of Commerce?
Exactly.
Place on Main Street?
Right. Those are the other things that we were thinking of, just public places like that where people are likely going to, be interested. So, so we didn't know, we were just.
Yeah. One other thought was we had was since what NAMCAC did with the lights, which is that they had the admission card at the library, so we could have the passports of the library possibly. But if we could somehow get the information on the Stockbridge website, we would at least hit, all the people who live in Stockbridge who look at the website. But that would just, to get their passport at the library. So those who were interested would go for it. Just another thought.
Yeah, right. I think we would have to speak to Wendy at the library on that, because that's just adding another layer to their at the desk.
Yeah, I can say that we would take a pile of them in the museum, but I can't speak to what is allowed upstairs. So
I can take a pile for the senior center. I definitely don't think we need 2,000.
I think 500 would be.
That's where I was aiming at. And I know, like, my family, if we get one, it would just be one for 4 of us.
Yeah. I don't want to say our best attended event, but the one that gets a lot of people because it's outside and there's walkthrough is the Ice Festival, and we usually get about 300.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And that's if
I think that's a good,
big amount of
things in Stockbridge.
Yeah. The souvenirs, I think, personally, I think we could probably get rid of that. I think just going to these events is probably special enough.
Yeah, and if the passport is
the souvenir
passport
itself.
is the souvenir, yeah.
And that will save 1,000 to 2,000 right there.
Do you want anything for the kids? That was part of the thought. If you went to a few events.
Will be enough.
See, I would rather, if we're allocating that money, it's like that could go to something really fun for the block party for the kids to do. That's
and like having had a child go to Disneyland or whatever, just the thing itself and having it stamped will probably be all that a child will want. They just love that thing.
Yeah.
A prize on top of that, I think was superfluous. So,
So I would probably drop it down. This is just me thinking out loud. I would drop it down to 500. And then that way it's already designed, and if we need to order more,
Yeah, then you just.
the design's already there. It's already, the footprint's there. So we can go ahead and order more down the road if we need it. I think the stamp is a fine idea. I think that's cute to get stamped, just like a passport. But I would probably drop the quantity down and then get rid of the souvenir line. That's just me.
I agree. I'm sorry to do this, but I have to go. So is there anything you need me for before
I
I
have
go?
a question.
Yeah.
I have a question about the Native American story in Stockbridge. And I know you have some of the Muncie tribe coming, right, for your event.
Yep.
Is that the only thing that's going to tell the story of the Stockbridge Indians in the war?
So we
Right.
talked about this a little. Do you want to talk about it, or yeah, I can, I will speed talk.
Okay.
So what we're
you got 2
doing,
minutes.
yeah, what we're doing is I have a series of 6 panels. 5 are informational and 1 is just an image of the actual proclamation that Washington gave thanking the tribe and a transcription of it.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
these are all, they're vetted by the Stockbridge Muncie, by Bonnie. The language, she's approved the language. There is the final panel is talking about contemporary work. What are they doing preserving the battlefields and the work they're doing with national parks? And the first panel has a link to their story map with a QR code. So people can just scan it and go to see their story map, which is really good. It's been a work in progress, and where it is right now is really good. So that is what I know we're doing. We are trying to include pictures of the 2 powder horns that were repatriated last year. And I'm in the process of getting in touch with the new director of cultural affairs for the tribe, who is hitting the ground running and very busy. So it's taking a while to meet up with her. But as I explained before the meeting, the Mohican veterans coming to talk on the 24th is what came out of my conversation with Sherry, the tribal liaison, saying, we know that this is a really sensitive topic.
Yeah.
And I understand if you don't want to do anything here in this town, that you don't feel treated you well.
Yeah.
But if you do want to do something, what would that look like?
Yeah.
And that's what we've got. So I can ask again, but this is what we got. So
I think we already asked the question and
and
responded with.
And I also know that the tribe's budget has been really badly hit recently.
Right.
And so this isn't really their focus right now. But, I every time I see Sherry, I check in with her, and the same with Bonnie.
When you say panels, what are
They're
they?
2-foot by 3-foot panels, like the
So
foam
they'll
core
be
panels.
in the museum.
So for the 24th, they will be out probably in the Bement room, which is where they're having the talk at the end.
Oh, good.
And then I haven't decided where I'm going to put them.
Yeah.
I might swap out the exhibit that's been up now for a long time that I worked on with Monique that's in the museum. I might swap it out there. I haven't fully decided that yet, but it's going to be up.
Okay.
So we will be honoring them because they do not, this is not a celebration for them.
No.
And there are many, many names on the memorial that's going up that they have vetted and worked on that list.
So when is the Revolutionary War Memorial going in?
I don't know.
We don't know.
I know that it is, the goal is still to have it in by Memorial Day, but it isn't going to be on Memorial Day weekend because the veterans want to be back on the reservation for Memorial Day.
Okay.
And the person who knows that is Rich Bradway, and he is not here right now. He'll be back in the middle of the month.
Oh, okay.
So
He's not on our committee, is he?
No,
And what about Rick Wilcox or anybody else? No. Okay. We don't know the date.
Thank you.
thanks, Talia.
Get in touch with me about people. Sorry, this is now. People for the block party,
Absolutely.
because I have some ideas.
Perfect. Awesome. I'll send you an email.
Thanks.
That was perfect. Thanks, Celia. Anything else from anybody?
I have a question.
Yes.
So what do you guys need from us? Do you need a formal proposal, or what I've told you is enough, or what do you need? Anything from Laurel Hill?
Well, no, we'll just get back to you on,
Okay.
decide on the specific date, but I think it's going to be the 23rd of April.
The
25th.
25th on a Saturday. I love that so much more.
I say let's just,
Since it's combined, you guys will work together.
Yeah, and it'll be so much more fun for all of us.
absolutely.
That's perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll do
The
that.
25th, the block party. I'll reach out to you. I'll reach out to Talia. I'll see what local businesses would like to do if people want to volunteer. And I'll get some prices for things for kids to do, and the band from Waldorf, I'll ask them. And then did you want to do the hats for that?
Well, I was wondering
Chester
about drums or.
Yeah.
Is there any music planned for, I mean, it'd be great to have, like, learn a little bit about that, but I don't know. Because we had talked about that with the parade, but if that works with a different venue.
Did we have somebody did we talk about the drums and stuff like that?
No, we haven't.
Need a piper.
Perfect,
Yeah,
thank
we
you.
need,
I'll reach out to Talia and see if she knows anybody.
Yeah, she might, because the
She might.
reenactment people.
Yeah, I wonder if she
Yeah.
would. I'll
there
reach
might
out to
be some
that.
included.
And then was Chesterwood doing the hats?
Well, we were for the parade, and
Yeah.
I think Miguel and I have to go back and talk, talk amongst ourselves and figure
Yeah.
out, since we thought the Minuteman would be featured on the float. Now, if that's out, then we have to sort of rethink.
Well, why
how
don't we just
can
do the
it.
Minuteman at,
Well,
pick it up.
as he said, it's not,
yeah, it wouldn't be like a float, but you could have an area with tables.
Photo opportunity for sure.
Yeah, and then you can have a table with the kids that can make their hats and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So it'd just be another station.
right. I think we just have to talk about what we're going to
Absolutely.
be doing
Yeah.
at Chesterwood and what we
Yeah.
would be doing off campus.
Absolutely.
Because, but we'll figure that out. I don't know whether it pays to go with a proposal to that parade committee on Saturday, but it's sounding like no. I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Susan?
I just have one other thing.
Yeah, sorry, it's other Susan.
Okay.
You can go first, Susan Price.
Sorry, Susan K.
Susan Kim. Okay. So
Let's change our names.
it sounds to me like this on the 25th is sort of becoming our main event. And we're going to try to throw a lot of different things into it. And the reason why I'm asking is just so we have a good idea as we put the passport together. It really is like a marketing piece. I think, Nancy, you said that. So, it sounds like that's sort of where things are coming together. The April 25th day, we're moving a bunch of different events to it. Maybe that's our sort of kickoff event. Maybe that's when we can distribute the passports. Does that sound right to you as we've been talking today?
I think so. I do think so.
Okay, because that helps us then think about how we structure the passport also.
Right.
Susan, will the passport also have sort of exhibitions around the 250 at the different museums in Stockbridge? Is that something that will also be advertised as part of the passport?
That's what we were thinking. So trying to think what belongs in the passport. So now it's sounding to me like it's this April 25th day, and then the certain events like that are happening at Chesterwood, that might be happening at Norman Rockwell. We would include those as well.
Great.
Is that Susan and Teresa, is that how you see it as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we know the dates of Rebel Town.
What is the date of Rebel Town? I did want to ask that too.
Did we vote on it?
Well, no, but I think that Johnny told us He was looking at, I want to say July 17th, 18th, and 19th, and the 24th, 25th, and 26th.
Sorry, what was it? July 17th, 18th, and 19th, and what else?
And then the next weekend, which is the 24th, 25th.
Okay.
And 26.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Would be all.
July 10th through 12th, and on the 19th on this email. And then
Yeah.
the 19th, which
Mhm.
is probably,
Do you think that's a Stockbridge day?
oh, and maybe that's a Stockbridge day, but,
And the 19th. What day is that 19th on? Is that Sunday?
July,
Yeah, July 19th.
July 19th is a Sunday.
the Sunday. So maybe the 10th, 11th, and 12th, and then the 17th, 18th, and 19th. But we better double check
We'll
with
double
Johnny.
check that.
Okay.
But I think shouldn't you have to vote to allow that, the money, right? What they were asking for.
We should, yes. Because we know that that's a hardcore number that we have for them, which is 10,500.
Yeah, 10.5.
So could I have a motion to spend 10,500 out of our budgeted item for putting on Rebel Town at Monument Mountain, with Monument Berkshire Hills giving us the auditorium for free, and we just have to pay for the custodial services and the tech support during the performances.
I make the motion.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, so Susan Price, did you want to say something? I'm sorry.
Just one last item we talked about, which was the passport logo, which the last I knew, George, I think you and Katie may be working on it. I'm not sure who, but.
Oh, Nancy and I were talking regarding using the powder horn, and I understand the concern there, but with a sketch or picture of it, you're not going to be able to read what it says on that. And the person's name that's on there had, it was his grandfather or great grandfather that took the land from the Stockbridge Munsee. So I don't think that that's a problem. I just think it's kind of a neat thing to have as our logo, because the library's using it also. So that kind of ties it all in. But I'll leave that up to everybody else.
Yeah, and Georgia and I had talked about reaching out to a local artist. And I did talk to Kasha Cooper, who grew up in town, and she just emailed me. I told her I had a meeting today, and she emailed that she would have some clean sketches for us by the end of today. So if I get something by email, then I can say, like a JPEG or something, I can send that around to people to look at and see what you think. And
that's going to cost about $200.
Right. She said that typically that's what she would charge for a small logo like that. But, it would have to be something we like and something that we can reproduce on the passport, and any of those flags we're talking are signs with the history. Yeah.
Okay, so you'll pass that around. We'll take a look. The
Yeah.
JPEG format would be fine.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I have.
Do we want to set another meeting date sooner than later? I just feel like having one a month is not working out. I mean, fine, but I think we're now really getting into the details, and which is a good thing. And I just think that we should meet a little more often, if we could. So, I don't know if you want to meet next week or the week after.
I can get all my stuff I need for next week. Next Wednesday I'm away. I could do a Monday night.
I can't do Monday nights.
Does during the daytime work for everybody?
Usually. So what date are we talking about?
Mondays, the library's closed, so Talia might have to be on Zoom or something, but does Monday work for our committee?
Martin
Yes.
Luther King.
Monday, I'm sorry, which date on Monday?
Is that the 19th of the?
The 19th is a holiday, so we either have to meet on the 12th or on another day.
Are we talking January or?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Or does this 3 o'clock on Wednesdays work for
Yeah, what about
everybody?
Wednesdays?
Yeah, that works for me.
3 o'clock on Wednesday work for everybody?
I could do the 21st. The
Yeah, I
4th.
could do the 21st.
I can do the 21st at
Okay,
Okay.
3:00.
let's do 3 o'clock on the 21st, and then that gives everybody a little bit of a chance to regroup and think about next steps, to get a little more detail. Sound good?
I think so.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the quotes?
Yes. Let's just talk about the
So
quote.
like the brilliant idea of how wonderful those signs in West Stockbridge looked, but they're very expensive. So trying to come up with something much less expensive. I know, Georgia, you suggested signs like of the yard signs, like the political type of signs, which are inexpensive. And they'd be hard to read quotes on them though, because if you have a sentence or two. But here's something I kind of came up with that I saw online. This is, I'm sorry, I don't really have it printed out or great so people can see. So on the book, this is on a bookstore, they have a poem that they've created and basically different lines of the poem on these banners. So, places like Vistaprint, you can go and very inexpensively print banners. Stores do it all the time to say, sales. Yeah, right. 20% off or whatever. You can pretty inexpensively print them. And I thought maybe we'd probably have to have them designed. Like if you had a quote from Theodore Sedgwick or Benjamin Franklin or whoever, and you wanted to put an image of the person and the quote together. You don't really need to do the image of the person. You also just put the Stockbridge 250 logo and the quote.
Yeah.
To simplify it. And then they could be hung on the buildings. They could be hung in windows of places.
Be really cool.
And I think, I don't have any numbers because this is it's just developing, but I think that would be an inexpensive way to do it.
Do we have to get permission from the planning board to put up banners?
Temporary signs like that, something
That goes before the selectmen, temporary signs, and they're only good for 10 days. That's the other thing. Temporary signs are only good for 10 days. So if we wanted something more permanent, more than 10 days, we'd have to go to the planning board. But if it's in a storefront, I'm just thinking out loud, maybe.
So the other thing I was thinking about is, how in Great Barrington they do at Halloween, all the school kids, they do, and they put them in the windows of the stores.
Could we do that? Does
Maybe.
planning board?
We'd have to ask.
Have to get, we could get, instead of printing banners, we could, if school, we could get a school involved, a history teacher.
That would be cute. Muddy Brook and the middle school.
Middle school age, I think, would be really good for
Yeah.
it, right? If, I don't know who would want to do that, but, we could. And then I think if they're in the store windows, they're probably up for at least 2 or 3 weeks in October
the ones that they do in Great Barrington probably. But they do them right on the window, don't they? They come in, actually,
Right.
they do them right on the window, but, so I don't know.
So Teresa, are the banners printed in material that's weatherproof?
They're usually kind of vinyl.
Okay,
And they're not expensive, so you can put them on and outside of the building or something.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing about them is.
yeah, right. It seems to me that would be better visibility than in windows because people see stuff in windows and don't even read, I mean, it's competing with all the flyers that people have in their windows.
That's true. That's true.
And I just wonder if there's anybody at the Berkshire Art Center, which is in Stockbridge, IS 183, for those of us who think of it that way. But I wonder if they do silk screening or if they would do anything like this as a volunteer.
I don't know, but I can find out about that, the printing on vinyl, like.
Printing on vinyl sounds practical to me. It's just a matter of where they would go and, a big banner on town hall would be awesome, but,
Really cool with all those.
Yeah, like the size of maybe not that big, but,
yeah. Thinner than that, but long, right?
Right, look long. I mean, that's how they kind of are on there. They're just sort of like long and thin, and they had the flag on the bottom of it, and it looked kind of cool. But if the logo could just be on the top or the bottom or the side or something.
Yeah.
Think we could hang it on the town hall?
Oh, I would think we could.
That couldn't be
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well,
I think-
the
then it
town
might be
hall had
more.
one, and the library had one, and you just
Yeah.
kind
The
of
Mission
went
House had one or
right.
something.
You
We
came
need
around.
permission from all those people.
Right.
Right, and as long as whoever's the town committee or approval kind of thing says that you would leave them up, say, for the month of August, or, pick a range of time that would be acceptable to leave them up. And it would make a big statement.
Yeah.
And so, we can work on pulling together some wonderful quotes. And then,
Yeah.
but I'll see about vinyl printing, see if there anything, local source of it. The art school's a good idea. I don't know. And then who do you think we'd talk to in the town about it's,
Well, I definitely would, because we want it over 10 days. I think we need to go to the planning board.
Yeah, and they probably would want to see a mock-up of what it would look
Right.
like and
right,
maybe even decide like where it would be, if it would be on the Waldorf School and the library and the town hall and
right,
Mission House or,
right. We could,
how many and where.
yeah, maybe we could find like 10 places just to pick a round number.
Yeah.
And so go to the planning board with the full plan and ask them and say, we want it for, a month or something. All right, so I'll work on costs,
Okay.
availability, where we could do it, and start to pull that together. And then as it takes shape, we'll have something the logo will maybe be getting ready, and then we'll be able to maybe have a design put together to show the planning board and ask them officially.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I look back at our old minutes and Rockwell is planning something in the fall, which we haven't talked about doing anything beyond.
I think there's
They
exhibit.
said either September or October, they were going to have speakers. But
Oh, right.
To try to get, was it Walter Isaacson? Remember, didn't he mention that?
yeah, because of the Ben Franklin.
Yeah.
He knows him from New Orleans because he used to work at the museum in New Orleans.
Sounded
So, I mean, that would be huge.
right. That'd be a really good get.
I know, but he hasn't been here, so.
Right, so Rockwell's doing from Revolution to Rockwell, June 6th through October 26th.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's their exhibit. And let's see what if it's.
Is that on their website already?
I think it just went up because I just got this.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and July 17th, Commemoration of American 250th founding, sweeping exhibit. That might be the opening on that date. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about any speakers yet. So
I'm going to take off. Do you guys need anything else from me? That was
I'll
so
email you.
great. That's so much more fun for us.
It's gonna be
Oh,
fun.
yes, definitely. And then you'll come on the 3rd.
You
I
want me
mean,
to?
on the 21st?
Yeah,
Certainly,
absolutely.
Cheryl.
Okay,
If you
yeah,
agree,
yeah.
that would be great.
Absolutely. Well, it ends up being easier for me because trying to explain to the rest of the board the parameters of this thing when I don't understand.
Right.
This will be so much easier to get everybody on board.
Okay.
Okay, so January, you said,
21st
Okay.
at 3.
okay. All right.
Take a book.
Oh, yeah, I will. Thank you.
All right. Do we have anything else right at the moment? We have our next meeting and everybody has some things to discuss and to do and may I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
And I second that.
80 seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.